Hi my friends, welcome back. This is A Course in Miracles, lesson 33. Today I'm going to read a lesson from the book, make some comments as I have some notes, and we're going to do a shorted guided practice together. So let's do it. A Course in Miracles, lesson 33. There is another way of looking at the world. Today's idea is an attempt to recognize that you can shift your perception of the world in both its outer and inner aspects. So only on that first phrase, there is another way. So when we say that, and if we reflect on this beginning of the lesson, there is another way, we already can feel the sense of hope and faith and even gratitude by saying there is another way of looking at the world. But just saying that there is another way, and I have some notes on that. The willingness and openness to the possibility that in fact there is another way. We are not trying to solving or rushing the process, trying to find the answers, trying to have the answers already. But when we say there is another way, we are pausing the movie. We are taking a break. We are taking a breath. And open this possibility, oh, there must be another way. And with that openness that we create from hope and from faith and certainty that there is another way, that's the part of our free will that we have to decide, that we desire, that we want to see differently, that we want to have true perception, true vision, true Christ vision. And when we say there is another way, so it doesn't matter how hard the situation is. Doesn't matter what kind of situation is. When you can look upon it and you can feel or say or think, there is another way. There is another way of looking at the world. So I feel that's the idea, that's how I feel about the lesson of today. And if we reflect on that, there is another way of looking at the world. We are, with our free will, invoke this other way actually, which is the true perception, which is the Christ vision, the true vision that the Holy Spirit can guide us into. So let's continue. A full 5 minutes should be devoted to the morning and evening applications. In these practice periods, the idea should be repeated as often as you find comfortable, though unhurried applications are essential. Alternate between surveying your outer and inner perceptions, but without an abrupt sense of shifting. Merely glance casually around the world you perceive, as outside yourself. Then close your eyes and survey your inner thoughts with equal casualness, trying to remain equally involved in both and to maintain this detachment as you repeat the idea throughout the day. So we are one step to do 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes in the evening With eyes open, eyes closed, we can alternate. We are going to do both. And just repeating the idea, there is another way of looking at the world. Without attaching ourselves to any thought, any object, or anything, we remain, as says here, equally uninvolved, and to maintain a detachment. And the shorter exercise periods should be as frequent as possible. Specific applications of today's ideas should also be made immediately when any situation arises which tempts you to become disturbed. For this application say, there is another way of looking at this. So we're doing morning and evening 5 minutes, and then throughout the day, whatever arises and as frequent as possible, we are saying there is another way of looking at this. Remember to apply today's idea the instant you are aware of distress. It may be necessary to take a minute or so to sit quietly and repeat the idea to yourself several minutes or several times. Closing your eyes will probably help in this form of application. So one thing that I think it helps is if we put like a timer or something on our phones to try to remember the idea of the lesson as frequent as possible. Sometimes we are really busy on our days and we forget exactly how the lesson was. So maybe could be helpful to have a timer or an alarm or something for us to remember with, and then you can write the lesson so you can know what to repeat. So that's one thing. And another thing is we are going to do just a short version just for you to get how you can do it, and then you can, after the video, you can do your full 5 minutes or more if you feel comfortable with. Okay, so let's do it. Let's do our practice together. So I invite you to close your eyes, to take a deep breath, to relax into this moment here right now, to be very present. And start repeating the idea of the lesson for today. Calmly, watching your thoughts without attachment, without a sense of hurry. You can say, there is another way of looking at the world. And you can really reflect on that, not on the thoughts that come, not on the objects or subjects, but on the idea of the lesson. There is another way of looking at the world. And you can open your eyes and look around you with easy and calm, without hurry. And you repeat the idea, there is another way of looking at the world. And you are not trying to find the answers. You are not rushing. We are just open to this other way. And there is another way of looking at the world. And you can feel a sense of hope. And you can feel certain that there is another way. And you can feel gratitude for having this other way. And from this place of hope, faith, certainty, gratitude, we are shifting the focus. We are shifting our vibration to a more positive one, even if you don't have the answers yet. We are not rushing. We are feeling gratitude because there is another way of looking at the world. And from this place of hope and faith and certainty and gratitude, we elevate ourselves so we can see. With the help of the Holy Spirit. And that's it. So thank you so much for practicing with me. I almost want to be here the full 5 minutes or more. But I invite you to do this practice. 5 minutes or more, meditate on that. And you will feel the instantly shift that's gonna take place. That even if you don't have the answers yet, even if you don't know what's the step or what to do, in whatever situation arises, you can feel this new door open of hope, faith, certainty, gratitude that there is another way to see the world, or there is another way of looking at this situation, or there is another way of looking at this. And that's it. I hope you have an amazing day today. So remember to do your practice 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening, and then throughout the day, as much as you can, there is another way of looking at the world. There is another way of looking at this. There is another way of looking at this situation. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for being here, and see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.